My name is Reverend Father Professor Hyacinth Ichoku. I'm basically a professor of economics with a specialization in health economics. Prior to being appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Veritas University in 2018, I was a professor at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where I acted as the Director of Academic Planning and Director of Institute of Maritime Studies. Prior to this, I had my basic studies in the University of Nigeria for my first degree in economics, and then to University of Cape Town in South Africa, where I studied my studies in a master's in economics in University of Cape Town, and then my PhD as well. My journey so far to being appointed has been quite an exciting journey, with all the challenges and ups and downs of life in the priesthood basically as a priest, and then getting all the challenges you went through as an academic, and then doing a number of not just teaching students but also engaging in consultancies for international development agencies, including the World Bank, the World Health Organization, European Union, American Agency for International Development, and UK Agency for International Development, and so many other groups I consulted for while I was also teaching at the University of Nigeria. So, having been appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Veritas University in 2018, it was quite for me a challenge. It was quite a big challenge. First of all, because the university was struggling at that hour. During that period, the university had just moved from open here in Abia State to the permanent site in Abuja. And with that movement, I really thank my predecessor in office, Professor Palashi, who did the other task of moving the university from open here to Veritas University in Abuja. That marked a new beginning for Veritas University. So, that having happened in 2014, and then me coming into, the university as the fourth Vice Chancellor in 2018, it was quite a challenge first of all, to improve enrollment in the university, and second, to improve infrastructure and facilities, and raise it to the standard of competitive university among the private universities in Nigeria. So that was it. Those were the key challenges. First of all, the funding was a challenge, because the bishops were finding it increasingly difficult to make contributions to support the university. And then secondly, you needed to provide infrastructure, buildings, hostels, classrooms, roads. So a lot of infrastructural development had to happen. So, but the challenge was how to raise this fund. So the key thing we did was actually to improve enrollment. That was the first target I set for myself. And to do this, we had to set up a committee headed by Father Peter Pakwa, who has been very, very instrumental to increasing our enrollment in Veritas University. A metrics for that kind of effort, the effort that has gone into this enrollment drive, has been that while university was just about the total population of the university was just about 1,200 in 2018 when we came in. Now we're talking about a university of 7,000 undergraduate students. So you can see the movement has been quite phenomenal. We want to thank the committee that that went from one corner of the country to another, from Calabar to Kano, from Maiduguri to Lagos, from to Jos to Makurdi to Onitsha, everywhere, sensitizing for enrollment. So that's what we have today. But having increased the number, you also have to have increase in facilities and infrastructure. So, and that's why we've been developing rapidly in infrastructure, building more hostels, building more classrooms, building more sports facilities, halls, and all that. Between 2018 and 2000 and now 2025, we've built over 25 buildings in Veritas University, tied many roads, and provided, we are providing now internet facilities, so that the student can have a good learning experience. Because it's one thing to bring the students to university in terms of increment in enrollment. There's also another thing to ensure that the students have a good learning experience. So first of all, you have to hire good staff, staff that will help to improve that learning experience. So while we're just about 200 and something staff when we arrived in 2018, now we're talking of a totality of about 900 staff, over about 500 of them academic staff, and then about 400 of them are non-teaching staff. So the implication is that things have to move also at a very reasonable speed to cope. So you have to, first of all, orient the staff, the orientation, because most of these staff you're hiring are coming from public universities and other public bodies. So that means also that you have to educate the staff to buy into the university vision, to buy into the values, the key values of the university, according to the founding fathers of the university. So that's exactly what. So the approach has been multi-pronged. So that's the kind of challenges you faced. First of all, orienting staff that will help you to drive the values of the university in terms of what does the university stand for, in terms of what the vision of our founding fathers have been, and then also to orient the students to adopt the values, the key values of the university. And fortunately for us, one of the things that has helped us quite a lot is the policy of full residence for all students. So that's one of the things that has helped us. The idea is that all students have to live within the campus. That's a big advantage, but it's also its advantage in terms that you have to control, you have to really do some measure of provide guidance to them while they are on campus. And then the other side of the story is that you don't have influence of students who are coming from all manner of corners of the city into the university as these students, for example. So that means you more or less have to inculcate in the students the key values within the context of a full residential system of the university. So that's the kind of stuff. And then the other part of the challenge is also that many more universities are being licensed. Many more universities are being licensed, particularly private universities. So you are having increasing number of universities who are also scouting for enrollment of students. And so right now there are about 309 universities, federal, state, and private. And of course, private is about 160. Abuja alone has now about 12 universities. That is a huge challenge as well. Huge challenge in terms of, getting enrollment, having parents and prospective students to buy into your ideas and to the vision of the university, and to drive them to come and enroll. So that's exactly the kind of challenge we are facing now. Making parents and making sponsors and prospective students to see the vision, to see our vision, the value that Veritas University stands for and pushes for. And so that is our main, advantage. I think, first of all, your question is multi-pronged in the sense that what makes it Catholic in the first place? What makes it Catholic is we pride ourselves as standing on the shoulders of the great tradition, the noble tradition of Catholic universities all over the world. And that is, first of all, it involves a lot of character formation and some share and buy-in into the Catholic vision of education, the formation of soul and body, intellectual and moral formation. So that's absolutely very, very important to us. So we're not just forming students to be intellectually sound. You must also see the other side, which is the moral formation, which is the ethical formation of students. And so part of the programs we offer, right now we offer over 10 faculties, both in engineering, law and other, medicine, pharmacy and other. But above all these, you must also look at the contents of what really makes a university a Catholic university. And that is the moral side of it. And so the social teachings of the church form the basics of every course you must take in Veritas University, because we pride ourselves that we have we are embedded in the Catholic Church, and so we must get the students to absorb and inculcate in them these moral and the social teachings of the church. And so social teachings of the church is a basic course in Veritas, which every student must have to take. Secondly, ethical values. Ethical values are also part of the compulsory courses every student must take in Veritas University. So those are the key programs. So both in terms of campus life, for example, every student must have to go to chapel, on Sunday. Every student must have to go to, certain days in the week. You must go to the chapel, you must pray, you must celebrate, participate in the celebration of the Mass. It doesn't mean that we don't work. We are open. We are open to all. Veritas University is open because all Muslims, Christians of every denomination are welcome in Veritas. But we must also impart that part of our formation, which we regard as essential, and that is the spiritual formation of students. We allow, for example, the Muslims to go and pray. For example, on Friday, they can, they go to their mosque and pray, because that is also part of the spiritual formation. We don't inhibit their own spiritual development. The same thing for other denominations. We allow them also to be able to see, the spiritual life, read the Bible, engage in biblical, even in the hostels, they engage in, biblical, discussions and all that. So, but we want to see a holistic formation, and that's what we say. It makes it, really Catholic. First of all, to ensure that everybody understands what the church teaches in terms of every course you are doing. The social teachings of the church is embedded in every, one way or the other, even in medicine, even in law, even in fact, every course, even engineering, you must understand the basic teachings of the church in respect of all these courses. Just what I've mentioned now, you need to have solid formation of students in character, truly in character and in learning. So that is fundamental. If a student passes through the university and learns character and develops character and develops, intellectually, then you have formed the student for leadership tomorrow. We are also open to giving students opportunity to develop themselves in all other areas, not just in learning and character. For example, in sports, in skill development, we provide students a lot of opportunity through what we call the skill boot program, where we allow students to engage and develop themselves and discover themselves in all manner of skills, including music, whether it is music or whether it is, fashion designing, or whether it's digital programs or whatever, or sports, or debate. So those are the kind of, programs we that are open to students. We encourage students to be able to participate in these extracurricular activities to develop their leadership skills. Okay, so that's the kind of formation we give to students that help them to be able to become solid character. When you form a solid character, you can then provide leadership wherever you are. So that's exactly the kind of stuff we opportunities we provide students. I think this is a very vital question, but as we said, the time to address this question fully might be very limited. But what I can tell you is, in terms of adopting African values, to see their various causes in terms of how it addresses societal questions, the societal, issues. Whether you're doing technology, or whether you are doing law, or whether you are studying in mechanics, or whether you are studying medicine, or whatever course you are studying in the university, the essence is maybe this what you might call decolorization. So it's not just about what is said, but it's also about how does this solve societal problem. How does this solve an African problem? How does this solve the Nigeria problem? So students are given projects to write. They are sometimes in groups, sometimes individually. But the key idea is to be able to for students to address and find solutions to societal problems, to society, questions around their own environment. So, and that is a crucial that's a crucial element for us. And so, for example, let me give you, our students are encouraged, and often they participate in activities that enrich the environment. For example, sometimes students take it upon themselves to go to the communities around us, to go and guide young people in secondary schools, guide society, provide facilities in society. For example, we've got students building water projects in communities. We've got our students building electrical projects in communities. We have also gotten students who go to secondary school to teach them, provide them basic orientation. We have also gotten students who go to catastrophic areas, like where you have maybe flood or something. Students respond. These are areas, take for example what happened in Niger State recently. The flooding that happened in Mokwa area in Niger State. Students our students went there with gifts, contributed money, contributed resources, and then to go and assist the victims of flood, which the deputy governor of the state was very enthused about. So the same thing, we go to the DAPIDs, the IDPs, to be able to see what society and what people are going through in life, and be able to, sometimes we ask them also to go to prisons and see what people are going through in life. So that also helps them to be able to feel the pulse of the society, to feel the pulse of the society. So that is the kind of orientation we try to provide our students. And I can tell you that has had enormous impact in whatever they do, to see that solutions, to find solutions to society problems, So that's the kind of orientation, to be able to see the impact you make, not just, and sometimes it is planting trees in the environment. For example, you'll find a lot of students who can say, oh, I planted this tree, I planted that tree in the environment. A lot of tree planting is going on to protect the environment, both in Veritas and around Veritas University. So that's the kind of orientation we give to students. And then, of course, we are also talking about entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship that helps them to create jobs. So we are not just allowing students to learn in the classroom, they also have entrepreneurship. I can tell you, more than 100 students of Veritas University have registered companies, which help them to employ other people as they graduate, and so particularly in professional programs. So we try to also push students around their dream, professional dreams, and to become professional from the beginning, and that helps them also make impact in wherever they go. You can't run a university in isolation or in silos. As I pointed out at the very beginning, Veritas is a Catholic university. We seek collaboration not just with other Catholic universities, but with other universities. For example, we are at the University of Toronto to seek, collaboration with them, but also now visiting St. Paul's University in Ottawa to be able to seek collaboration. We have also some, maybe with other universities I can't list right now, like Franciscan University in Ohio, other universities like University of Bologna, and many others. No, the idea is collaboration in certain areas. For example, we discovered that St. Paul's University is good in theology, is good in theology and canon law and social innovations. So social innovation is crucial to us because that's a key area that one student to also pay attention. Social innovation, so the idea of the proposed collaboration, which has been in the we're just starting, is to be able to see which areas we can actually collaborate with St. Paul's University, particularly in the area of theology, in the area of philosophy, in the area of canon law. It may interest you that to know that recently the Chancellor for Catholic Education and Culture granted Veritas University the opportunity to award ecclesiastical degrees in philosophy and theology, and that's very important for us because we are just one of the few 3 or 4 universities in Africa that have been so approved to award ecclesiastical degrees. But we also realize that St. Paul's University has been a pontifical university for many years, long years of experience. So sharing their experience in this area, having staff exchange, having student exchange is also being proposed so that we can actually work together to improve both systems. They can learn from us, the experiences we have as a church in Africa. We can also learn from their long years of dealing with ecclesiastical theology and philosophy in St. Paul's. So those are the kind of propositions that are on the table right now. And my discussions with the president of St. Paul and his team yesterday was quite very fruitful, useful and fruitful. So we hope that we are going to build on this friendship, going forward.